Well, there's supposed to be an old road here going up this wash in front of me, but I don't know if it's still there or not. But anyway, before I head up there, look what's at the mouth of this wash. An old pickup truck, GMC model. That's probably been sitting here for at least 4 decades, 5 decades, I don't know. Here's the interior. Dashboard, General Motors truck. And here's the, oh look, that opens. What was the glove box. Check out the gear shifter and some kind, is that a brake or a clutch? I don't know. But what's really amazing is the glass in the back window is still intact. There's one bullet hole there on the right, but usually the glass is the first thing to go in these old trucks. There's your fuel tank underneath. Yeah, this was some kind of a dump truck. Pickup truck, dump truck. Look at those old tires, Goodyear tires. Look at that, still has the mud flaps, but they are corroded. There's the bed of the truck. Another mud flap. More Goodyear tires. Yeah, you can see underneath there how that was all put together. Seat's gone. I don't know if the hood will open. There's probably nothing to see in here. Yeah, everything's been pretty much stripped out. That's the engine compartment. What's left of it. But that's pretty amazing. I'm not sure what year that would be. What, 1940s, 1950s? If anybody knows, leave some information in the comments. But anyway, we got to continue back up this. There's supposed to be a road here, but I think I'll find it eventually. But let's head up that way to the abandoned mine site. Here are some prickly pear cactus that are starting to bloom. See those purple buds? Those will get a lot bigger, probably in about a month or two, and then you can come back and pick them and eat them. And you can also eat the petals as well. I did that several years ago. I picked some of these when they were fully grown, the purple part. And what I can remember, they sort of tasted like kiwi, maybe something mild like that. They weren't bad, but they were a big part of the Native Americans' diet, that's for sure. And so I tried them, and they weren't bad. Just got to watch out for the little spine, the little prickly things, the spines, you know. So yeah, here's this road, or what's left of it. We are headed up into that canyon you see right directly in front of me, way up there. It's going to get real narrow on both sides. And there's an abandoned talc mine up here. I don't think there's much to it, but I'm going to check it out regardless. You never know. Okay, I just hiked up from down that way. I'm following this old road that's indicated on the topographic maps, but as you can see right here in front of me, there is no road. It's gone. It's been totally obliterated, coming up through this wash like it does. But it was probably in use back in the 1930s or 1940s, when the mine we're headed to up that way was in production. I'm seeing no tracks on the road except animal tracks. And it's about 95 degrees out here Fahrenheit today. That's hot as heck in Celsius. And I'm kind of hiking through a sparse forest of Joshua trees. Well, the road has reappeared finally. Gotten a little bit further up this wash, and you can sort of see it here in front of me, at least what's left of it. Right straight ahead, that's the road I'm hiking on. If you didn't know there was a road here, which I got from the topographic map, you would probably never even notice this if you were out here hiking. But yeah, it's pretty overgrown. Today is the first day of spring, and there are some desert wildflowers in bloom. You can see there some red ones. I've seen some purple ones and some yellow ones as well. Check out that Joshua tree. It's about 12 feet tall. And we just came from that way up this old mining road. Let's keep going. Yeah, today is the first day of spring. And believe it or not, there's a heat advisory for out here in the deserts today. They've had one for the last 3 or 4 days. Today's the last day of it, I believe. So, kind of brutal, kind of a killer, but we're doing okay. There's the road. So check out this sac structure I found on this bush next to the road. From a distance, I thought that was a big tarantula in there, but it's not. It's a bunch of little caterpillars. It looked like they're trying to break out of there and maybe become butterflies. That's what I'm thinking. But anyway, we're still continuing up this wash, up the road that way. So I'm at a junction. There's a narrower canyon going up that way, and then the main wash continues this way. But we have to go this way according to the topographic map. The old road used to go up this way. Like I said earlier on, it gets really narrow up here, the canyon, and then we'll be at the mine. So let's keep on trucking. So there's the road we just came up. Look at the berm that's still here. They built up a berm using these brown rocks because the wash is right here next to the road. So they built this berm here to keep the water in the wash and not coming up and destroying their road, which you can sort of see it now kind of clearly right there in front of us. 2-track. So yeah, this is the time of year when rattlesnakes come out, so got to be on the alert for those, that's for sure. But I think they tend to come out at night when it's a little cooler. So interesting rock over there, kind of in layers. Look what's up here, a big tree. Wow, look at all that shade underneath it. Here's kind of a strange boulder. Very strange color. I don't see any others like it in the area. Wow, look at that, another tree. And we just came up from down there, curving off to the left. So the mine is right up here. Wow, that tree is massive. I'm still on the old road. See it right here in front of me. Look up to the right. Here's a barrel. Wow. That's probably been here for almost 100 years. Like I said, I think these mines were active in the 30s and 40s, so that's been probably sitting here for a century. Don't see any writing on it, unfortunately. Wow. There's looking back down the canyon. Well, here's a big turnout in the road, kind of a flat area. The road does make a hairpin turn here and continues up that way. We just came from down there. So let's make the hairpin turn and see what's up here. Now, topo maps show this as a prospect. So I don't know, I don't think there's going to be underground access. Look at that big rock just sticking out of the ground. Wow, that's huge. So in this massive boulder that's gigantic, check this out. There's a little pocket of something white right there. It's not talc. Sort of looks like quartz, but it's the only spot of that in this entire boulder, which you can see is huge. Here's a piece that broke off. I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. Wonder what caused that. Okay, the road came up here, made another hairpin turn. And check out these roots from this. I think those are pinyon pines, I think. I can't remember. But anyway, look how the roots made their way through the rock right there in their endless quest for water out here in the dry, parched desert. But those trees don't need a lot of water. And the road continues this way. This road just keeps going. We came up from down in that ravine. You know, I don't think anybody comes to this mine. I've never seen pictures or documentation of it. But there's probably not much here anyway. Okay. So here is what I thought might have been talc. I don't know. Looks like it. There may have been a portal there. I don't know. This mine's been abandoned since probably the 1940s, so if there was a portal, it's totally eroded shut. I mean, this is such a wide, flat area out here, and the trucks would have come up this road all the way, so I think there might have been a portal here. Here's an old Pabst beer can. You can very faintly see the label there. There's the top. It's got the old school pull tabs. And that's how it's put together. There's a seam there. And something there. Please don't litter. There's something right there in the center above the opening. I can't see what that says. And of course it says Pabst on the left there. Anyway, just laying up here, a forgotten relic. So I came higher up. It looks like above the lower area down there where they were mining soapstone or talc or whatever that white stuff is. They came up here and were mining this tan colored rock. It's kind of just an outcropping, but so it looks like this prospect was being mined for 2 different types of ore. Kind of unusual in a way, how they're stacked on top of each other like this. But quite a view from up here, across the ravine and down the canyon we hiked up, which is right down over there. That's where we're going to be heading momentarily to get back to the vehicle. And some pretty steep terrain in here, further up there. And, but yeah, that's this little prospect site. Always wondered about this and finally made it to it, and glad I did. Saw some cool stuff on the way and might see some more cool stuff on the way back.